What if you want to add huge sounding chords, pads and keys to your live loops, but you suck at playing piano? Well, this is Scalar 3, and I'm hoping that it can solve that problem for me. With Scalar 3, I can trigger huge sounding chords, patterns, even performances with the press of one key. And when you pair an app like this with some of the amazing virtual instruments available for the iOS ecosystem, you get a pretty powerful setup. Let me show you a few sounds. The thing is, when you're building a live looping setup, you're tempted by so many different elements: drums, bass, keys, vocals. You end up wanting to do it all, and inevitably you have some strengths and weaknesses as a musician. We can't all be multi-instrumentalists that are incredible at every single instrument. Maybe if you're someone like Jacob Collier, then you haven't got to worry about this. But if you're someone like me, you've got a few instruments you can play and many that you can't. And that's the problem with live looping. When you try and do many elements that you can't really do, it can become a bit stressful because it's just not fluid and it's not natural. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd love to be able to play many different instruments well. I can play a few, and I think as musicians we should all aspire to be able to play instruments rather than essentially cheat, which is what I'm looking at doing here. But that doesn't mean you have to avoid using all the tools available to you. Maybe if I use an app like this to trigger some chords, then I can focus on what I'm really confident with, which is guitar playing and singing. I can then focus on the fun parts for me: performance, creativity, and interaction. But with live looping, it's always a balancing act. Trying to decide what you're going to do, what you're going to focus on is different for everybody. So let's actually take a look at Scalar 3. Now, if you've never come across Scalar before, it's basically a music theory and chord generation tool. It helps you trigger, play chords, progressions, even see a whole range of great chord combinations that you might not have otherwise first thought of, all in this amazing window that's really intuitive to use. I believe it's both available for tablets and on desktop, but I'm going to be taking a look in the iOS world on an iPad today inside of Loopy Pro. And whilst this app is probably aimed at producers, songwriters, I want to take a look at it in a live looping sense. And I actually think there's some really cool use cases for just that. Now, I should probably say this app is vast. There's no way I'm going to be able to show you every feature available. I'm just going to show you a few of the core features that I think can be really beneficial to live loopers. Because for me, the interesting part isn't just about music theory, it's about how I can use this creatively live. So this is Scalar, and this is the main window. Now, first of all, you can load up Scalar 3 as a virtual instrument, and it's got some of its own sounds built in. In my case here, I've loaded it up as a MIDI plugin, and then it can trigger any synth, any keys, anything I want, essentially. So to start off with, we have all of these different scales available to us. We can click on any one of them and it would generate a scale list option down the bottom here. We've got common chord progressions that you'll see in many popular songs. You can browse by genre, you can browse by artist, so you might be able to find one of your favorite artists and then listen to the kind of chord progressions that they use typically. And once you select any of these options, you can listen to the chords by simply clicking on them. So I'm just going to start by selecting this C major scale here, and I'm just going to keep things nice and simple to start with. We've got our typical chords in Roman numerals going across the key, so C major, D minor, and so on. Now, if you want to build a specific chord progression, you can simply take your chords, drag them down the bottom, and create a chord progression. I can then cycle through those chords. But for this demo, I just want to stick with the basic chords in the key of C major. And what I'm going to do is you've got these bind options that you can see me clicking on screen. And what this is going to allow me to do is using either an on-screen keyboard or a MIDI keyboard is use one key to trigger these chords. Now this is the benefit for me, because for me to actually play some of these chords, granted these are basic chords, but in a minute I'm going to spread the voicings out. I'm not particularly good at doing that. So by being able to do it with one key is a huge benefit. So let's bind these chords to a single octave by clicking this button here. And now on the keyboard down the bottom, you can see from C2 to C3. If I click the first one, the note of C, it should trigger the first chord. If we hit D, it should be D minor, E minor, and so on. Nice and simple. I can have that rigged up to my MIDI keyboard and play it with one hand. Okay, so we've got our 7 chords in the key of C major, but let's take a little look at some of the performance options we have available inside of Scalar, which can take some boring chords, change the voicings to make them more interesting, and also, if you want to, you can add rhythmic playback, you can humanize it on both swing and, you know, a slight bit of variation in timing so it doesn't sound too robotic. Let me show you a couple of those features. Just as standard, if I hold this key, it would just play the single chord, nothing more to it. But if we click on this performance section down the bottom, we get all of these different options. You get performances, which will essentially play a nice performance by a professional keyboard player, or at least it's programmed to sound like one. Let me just give you a demonstration. If I click Arco and I hold the key now, potentially a little cheesy sounding, but you pair this with the right sound, you can get the right movement. But for me, I'm not really going to use that kind of thing because that's going to dominate my loops too much. But I might use something like a rhythm. So let's try a common rhythm, and you can see these rhythms here. Let's try something a little bit different actually. Let's try Fantasia. So now we've got this really nice movement happening when we hold a key. You can use the humanize feature to start messing a little bit with the velocity and timing. I've got it set on both just to keep it less robotic. And then one other feature that I want to show you is this voice grouping. Now there's loads of lovely different voicings that you can have, which experienced keyboard players tend to do a lot, which is to take your clustered triad and spread it out across the keyboard, you know, come up with nicer ways of playing things. I really quite like drop 2 voicing, if you have a listen to that. So then pretty quickly inside Loopy Pro, I can use one key to trigger whole chords. Now, there's so many ways you could use Scalar 3. There's so many ways you could set it up. It's extremely advanced. I've maybe shown you 1% of what it can do. But I can see it being useful for me in a very particular way, and that is to leave it in C major. So you've got your chords 1 to 7 of that key. And then instead of setting up loads of different presets, I can use the power of Loopy Pro and transpose to simply change the pitch of whatever synth I'm sending it to by however many semitones I need to change key. So I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration. I haven't gone through and selected my sounds very carefully or anything like that, but I wanted to show you how you could quickly change key. I'm going to change key from C major to G major to D major, play a tiny little bit of 3 songs, Black or White, Let It Be, and then a bit of Knocking on Heaven's Door. I've got 3 different drum patterns inside of Lumbeat, and then I've set up a few widgets that will, with one button, change the tempo, change the drum beat, change the key, and I can quickly add in my layers. Let me try and show you how this all works. So I'm going to test this out using some sounds from Analog 8 from Rob Jackson here, and he's been kind enough to send this across to me. I've been testing out some sounds this week, and I love these really thick, lush pads, and that's something I can see myself using underneath my loops. Keep the rhythmic stuff to my acoustic guitar, my electric guitar, and just have a nice pad fill in that space. I'm using 3 different presets from that app, and I'm going to be triggering them when I select my song choice. Selecting what key I want simply adjusts the transpose function on the app itself. So inside here, you can see the tuning. If I press D major, you've got the semitone changes, okay? So I'm using the semitone changes to take everything from C major to whatever key I want. I could have one widget and it would do all of that for me in a live setting. I've got 3 tempo widgets set up here that simply just change the tempo from 117 to 72 to 70. You could argue I don't really need those two separated, but hey ho. And under that, I've got 3 patterns in Pop Drummer. Pattern 1, pattern 2, and pattern 3. Again, I've hacked this together just to demonstrate, but it gives you an idea of what's possible. And then all I need to memorize is the Roman numerals or the chord numbers that I need. For example, Knocking on Heaven's Door would be a 154. And then, of course, you just learn the chord progression you need for whatever song you're learning. Let's have a quick jam of some of these tunes and see how they turn out. So overall, I think Scalar 3 is an incredibly powerful app. I'm not new to Scalar. I've had Scalar 2 for years, and it's one of those apps that the more you use it, the more you realize is under the hood. There are so many inspirational tools. You could use it in a whole host of ways. Maybe you don't want to use it live, but it's a great tool to discover what chords work with one another. Maybe in my case, you want to use it just for some pads underneath, and I can play chords with one key. Or even if you want to make your own parts, record them to loops and save them, it could be amazing for that as well. It's also really fun for me to use it in a non-complicated manner, just setting it to one key and then learning the chords in order that I need for certain songs means it can be flexible. I can chuck set lists together of loads of different tunes, just learn the chord progressions, and I'm good to go. But as with all of these apps that I've been testing recently, how much I'm going to use them live is still up for debate. I see myself using all of them sparingly, little bits here and there to complement the performance, not necessarily use it on every single song. By the way, if you've been wondering where the drums are coming from in this video, that's Pop Drummer. Click on the video on screen now if you want to learn more. But as always, take care and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.